Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. This episode is all about tight ends from Week 6 and how we should be looking forward to Week 7. So let's get it going. All right, and everybody, let's just quickly run through the top 10 from Week 6. We have in order Hunter Henry, Hooper, Kittle, Seals-Jones, Brate, Cook, Andrews, Williams, Griffin, and Fells. That you can see there are a lot of names on that list that we weren't necessarily expecting. Now, my analytics, thankfully for me, picked up Seals-Jones. I had to plug and play a tight end this week, and I had Seals-Jones in my lineup. If you want to sign up for those fantasy football analytics, you can do so for free. Just check the show notes. All you have to do is send an email to functionalsportsaholic@gmail.com, as you can see it in the show notes, or you can send me a tweet. I'm at TFS_Sean, that's SEAN. But yeah, Hunter Henry, welcome back. He's somebody that is available as of the start of this week, was only available in about, or only taken in about 54% of the league. So there's slightly less than a 50-50 chance that you can get your hands on Hunter Henry. If you can do so, I would. 2 touchdowns. Phillip Rivers, glad to have another receiving option back in the fold other than just Keenan Allen and some other guys. I like Mike Williams, for example, for the Chargers, but I'd like to see him get in the end zone, then I'd like him a little bit more. Austin Hooper, we had projected quite well. I actually thought he was going to be the top-rated tight end. He was number 2. I'll take that. Kittle had a nice matchup. Brate continues to outperform his counterpart, O.J. Howard, which is interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, Mark Andrews, you can expect him to be in the top 10 pretty much every week he plays, but Max Williams, Ryan Griffin from the Jets, and Darren Fells from the Texans. Now, Darren Fells is interesting. Max Williams, I'd pretty much ignore. The offense isn't going to keep him going. He's not going to be a top 10 tight end every week. If you need a plug and play, look for the analytics, but I don't think that was going to be a matchup, or I shouldn't say, I don't think Max Williams will give you that kind of opportunity every single week. Ryan Griffin is really just kind of holding the place until Herndon gets back for the Jets, and I really don't know how the tight end is going to do in New York, so I'm a little bit lower on him. Darren Fells is interesting to me, though, because he is catching a lot of passes in this offense. He continues to produce, and while Will Fuller, and we saw last weekend against Kansas City, while he continues to maybe drop passes or have things just go off his fingertips, Will Fuller again could have had, he was this close. It's been the story of his season, this close to being just a complete standout wide receiver, but just hasn't pulled everything in. Darren Fells kind of cleans that stuff up, and he's also looked at on the goal line. I've historically been down on Houston tight ends inside Bill O'Brien's system, but Fells is making me rethink that. So let me get to my awards for this week for the tight ends. This one I'm going to be using the Kicked in the Nuts awards, which was, this is really close. I would have loved to have had this player had he played the entire game, and it was Will Dissly. He had quite the matchup, Seattle versus Cleveland. This was shaping up to have a Will Dissly kind of going off for maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. Hurts his Achilles. Now, this is still the beginning of the week when I'm shooting these films, but when I saw the injury, I thought, he must have blown out his Achilles. I look at the injury report, and he's doubtful. I don't know if that's just kind of smoke and mirrors from Seattle. I don't know if he's truly doubtful. But if he is coming back, that's really good for Will Dissly owners. Don't give up on him just yet. Let's look at the injury report. My dumpster vomit player of the week, the second Tampa Bay Buccaneer to make this list, is O.J. Howard. Now, let me say this. I'm not in any way talking smack about O.J. Howard. I think he's a phenomenal player. The thing is, Bruce Arians, he just doesn't really use tight ends too often. I'm down on O.J. Howard. I was all season, and you can see Cameron Brate. He tends to catch more touchdowns in this offense than O.J. Howard does. When Jameis Winston, and yes, I know he threw for a lot of interceptions, when Jameis Winston throws for 400 yards, and I think, 35 of those yards goes to O.J. Howard, that's pretty telling. When you're getting less than 10% of the total passing yardage, and it's kind of a recurring theme with him, can Tampa Bay just do football fans a favor, Patriots fans a favor maybe? I'm not a Patriots fan, but just trade him to New England already. I've been saying this for a few weeks now. I see the press is starting to pick this up as well. Can you imagine New England at the deadline making a deal for somebody like O.J. Howard? It would be phenomenal for them. It looks like Gronkowski's not coming back. I never really thought he was, but they're not pursuing him. Gronk is going to be on TV now. He had a nice little premiere the other night. O.J. Howard, he's going to wind up on the Patriots. It's going to happen, so it may as well happen now. I would have thought maybe before the season Cameron Brate would end up over there, seriously, but Yeah, it seems like Cameron Brate's really just kind of taken off in this offense, and O.J. Howard is being wasted. So if it's not the Patriots, send him somewhere else. You can get value back for him. He's a stud tight end. Just give him some to a team that'll actually use him. My No Soup for You award goes to Zach Ertz, who had a phenomenal matchup, I thought, against Minnesota. But every time I looked, and I watched that game, every time I looked up, I saw Zach Ertz getting hit late, hit hard. Maybe not late, not illegally late, but Minnesota played a physical brand of football, and Zach Ertz did not look very well. And I got to say, Zach Ertz and Travis Kelce, the two probably top tight ends. You could throw, I guess, George Kittle in there as well. But, Kelce is not playing like a number one tight end. Ertz is not playing like a number one tight end in terms of fantasy at this point. Will they catch up? Yeah, I think they will. But Ertz, I'd like to see a little bit more urgency and a little bit more physicality, dude. You're what are you, 6'8"? Come on, man. Throw your weight around a little bit. Catch some passes. Come on. So there you go. That takes me through the tight ends. Moving forward again, you want to look at Fells. Seals Jones, I like him, but he's more of a matchup-based play. Remember, they still have Odell Beckham to throw to. They have Chubb to hand off to. They have Jarvis Landry to throw to. But Seals Jones, if you're looking for a plug-and-play, he'll get you there time to time every week. Max Williams, I lay off. Hunter Henry, if he's available in your league, snap him up. He's gone in mine. He's going to be gone in about 55% of the leagues, like I was saying. Snap him up if you get the chance. Cameron Brate is outperforming O.J. Howard. That is the trend going forward. I'm sorry, O.J. Howard investors, the people that wasted those high picks on O.J. Howard. It's the Arian system, man. He's just not looking there. O.J. Howard, if you're a Bucs fan, it's going to break your heart to hear this, but he's not going to be on the Bucs very much longer. He's going to go somewhere else, and he's going to flourish, and it's just going to drive you all crazy. But the good news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Winston is not going to throw 5 interceptions every week, and Bruce Arians is a really good head coach, so they'll get that team moving. I like what they're doing on the defense. I just don't like that they're wasting O.J. Howard's talent. So there you go. That brings me through another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. Please like, subscribe, comment, and watch some videos that helps our channel grow, and check us out on another episode. Thank you.